Hello everyone. Figure we just jump right into it. I'm in the mood to do these videos, and that's a big part of my change in approach now. Just jump into it, be more like Roomba. When you get something wrong, back up, turn a little, and retry. So when last we left off, I had my first success in putting out a Jekyll blog post from scratch without my other approach from importing it from WordPress, which I did before on another site, but I'm doing it from scratch. And so before I started doing any sort of customizations, I figured I'd yield to the system that they were trying to compel me to use, really, which is the date system, which is documented on this wonderful blog post that I found here. No, that's the default documentation here. So this is really what's happening. It took me a while to figure out that when you created one of their recommended file names, that it chopped it apart and hosted it in this actual directory structure with a .html extension, which is where you get a URL like this one here. Now, that's not necessarily what I want, so we go to my notes. This is very meta because I'm making the notes in the same blog system where I'm doing it. And all I'm going to do on this video is try and get that URL under control and sort of lay the foundation for the slice and dicing into this format from this format into that format. So we are blogging, for anyone just tuning in, we are blogging using just a plain old text file, which currently becomes one long file on, in this case, pythonically.com. And on my last video, I got Jekyll's default blog post system working. Jekyll is a static site publishing system built into GitHub. The feature is called GitHub Pages. And so before I go changing the URL, I was saying on the last video that look is definitely not the look I want. In fact, I zoomed in to real big just even to make it usable. So I'm going to choose a different template. And I already have GitHub loaded here. That's the other one we're looking at. And when I say it's a feature built into GitHub, here we are in my repo. So this URL is github.com/mclevin/pythonically, which you can't get to because it's a private repo, but that doesn't keep you from using it to publish a website that is not private. They give you warnings about it. So to get to the GitHub Pages feature, you just hit Settings, you hit Pages, and yeah, this is where all that stuff is set up. This is where you can see I'm giving it a custom domain. And now what I do is I hit choose a theme. I currently have K-Man theme chosen. And what I'm doing is I'm chopping off all the banners at the top. So, you know, whatever I get is really going to be what's beneath this point here. So it's not going to look as good. I love the hack theme. So I think I'm going to use that for now just to give it a nice high-tech look. I'm not thrilled about these, you know, arrows they use for bullet points, but it's nice. It's nice. So I select that theme, and that's all you really have to do now to make that live. Here's that warning saying the repository is private, but the published site will be public, right? They need to tell you that. That's good to know. It's going to take, oh, well, there, that was really fast. You saw me do it that quickly. And okay, well, that's kind of ugly. Let's take a look at the home page for a moment, right? So this is a little bit prettier than it was. But what I'm really fixing is these URLs. So just to be able to get back to that page easily, I will copy it down there. And I'm really just looking to change this to something better. I think I just want to put the word blog in there because blog is more timeless than a particular date, which might make the content start to get more aged than I would like it to appear to be to the world. Excuse me, I need to keep a cup of water here while I'm doing this live streaming. So that was step one, change the format. Step two is to look at that post where it explained that in this lovely way. So this person here, Melissa Anderson, back in 2016, gave us these instructions. And some of it might be a little dated by now, but most of it I do believe still applies. So understanding how the URLs are controlled, page defaults, post defaults. They are allowed to have categories, and those categories become directories on the static site as well as part of the URL. So you can see here, Jekyll space update becomes Jekyll/update. Yuck, driving things deep down into an apparent directory structure, not my thing. But categories : blog might be nice, but there might even be a better way. Permalinks. Permalink patterns. Jekyll allows you to redefine the entire default pattern in the _config.yml. YAML is what they call that. And they give some example patterns. Permalink is : categories, : title in this example. And that's pretty close to what I want. And the category, I would always have to put in as this front matter as blog. Categories : blog. I can deal with that. I can contend with that. Another option is possibly that it gets done in the YAML file itself, but then I'd have a difficult time keeping track of or figuring out how to control, what got, categories and what got title throughout the whole site. So this, even though it's a permalink rule for the whole site, categories applies uniquely to the blog itself, and this applies to blog posts or just normal pages, which are very doable in a slightly different approach than the blog pages. Okay, so I should really just jump into it. What I want is this example in the _config YAML file. So here's my terminal. I always bring myself to GitHub. This is a path that I should really teach people about because almost everyone should be doing this. But one more CD and I can get into Pythonic Ally. See how easy it is to get into your projects. This is the ease you're seeking for in everything you do. And I do not see the YAML file here. There should be one as a GitHub pages site as it is. So I'm just gonna ls-la, make sure there's nothing invisible sitting around here. I'm gonna cd into some of these different directories, like includes ls cd ... cd layouts. Just make sure I'm not missing a YAML file. I don't think so. cd posts. Yeah, no YAML file. So I guess what I want first is an example YAML file. I think it was config _YAML. Yeah, _config YAML. Specifically for Jekyll, because these YAML files can define so much about a site. All we want is just the few lines that are necessary for configuring a site. You see all this stuff? Ugh, I do not want to get into it. Minimal. so there's some things. Header navigation, permalink, right? So there's the permalink theme settings. I should be able to just jump into theme settings, right? So minimal Jekyll theme. I thought I had a YAML file. That is where, oh, you know what? Now that I've changed stuff on the site from the GitHub side, git pull. Oh, ls-la. There it is, config YAML. I don't need an example. Vim. Oh, well, first I should, well, no, I don't need to git commit because nothing's changed since the pull. The pull on the other side on GitHub. GitHub edited my repo, dropped stuff in. Vim config.yaml. There's my theme that I just created. And so it should be as easy as this, right? Theme colon, right? You don't need all that comment stuff around it. I just need that entry there, which was this one here, right? This easy? Maybe this easy? What do you think? Paste that in there. I don't think I need spaces between it. So I do need a categories entry now. So I save that, I quit it, git status, make sure that everything is that I need there is there, modified. Yeah, it's good, just good stuff. Okay, so now I can cd into my underscore post folder that I made earlier today, ls, vim that file, 22/2022, and in the front matter now, I need a categories entry. I think they gave an example up here. Now, of course, I don't want the two things. That would be terribly ugly. But I do want it to just say categories blog, right? That should be it. That should be it. That should change the URL. This is, I edited my YAML file. So I guess we make a few notes here, right? So I do it right here. We changed our theme of GitHub pages through GitHub, of course. Right. And then we did a git pull. That got us our underscore config.yml file. Oh, I hate how it's really marked down here. Especially in these cases, I got to figure out how to override that. I don't even care about showing markdown. Honestly, I should change it in my Vim settings. Yeah, that's it. Without further ado, right? So I'm following the instructions on this fine article. Okay. Git status again, one more time. You can never do that too often. You can see I edited this. And git commit. Overriding default blog, not default permalinks. It's going to affect everything, really. All right, there's our git commit. It's going to take a while to propagate, but this should be a broken link pretty soon. I'll just do a refresh. Not a broken link yet, but as it's doing its thing, I'm going to try and guess the new link that's going to be coming up. It should be really, really easy. Two things. First, all that date stuff is gone, and that's just blog, glog, but blog. I really want it to be glog, I guess. And then the last thing is that this comes off. There shouldn't have to be a .html extension. Right now it's a 404. Hopefully that changes. This page still exists. There's ways to check for errors. It comes in through your email, but I'm not going to pull my email up here on a live stream. So I'm waiting for the Jekyll changes to propagate. And one last thing I'm going to check here before I wrap this video up is the instructions are in fact correct, what I think. So here's the old URL pattern that would have been created, And when it's overridden, see, an index.html, about/index.html becomes just about/ the result in the URL, which it exists on disk as this, but see, it gets rid of the .html extension. At least that is my hope. As soon as this disappears, this one should appear. Hopefully I got it right. You know, there could be errors lurking. I also have to fill in, like, by my name as the front matter. There's front matter things I really need to learn. All right, I don't want to feel stupid just hitting those refreshes. So let's try another change and make a race condition, see what comes through first. So permalinks, no, front matter. There's some front matter there. Oh, permalink. See, you can do permalink colon something and just override everything in your front matter. That's really nice. Category here. Oh, there's a lot of options. I should really learn this slugified title from the document's file name. Any character except numbers and letters is replaced as a hyphen. Maybe overridden in the document's slug front matter. That's interesting. So not using the title for the URL, but using a slug. Slugs are probably going to be better. Whoops. Slip of the fingers. Anyway, let me just do a control test here. Vim. Editing the page. Git commits. Simple test edit. Git push. Right, so that's out there. So if I see that change appear here, I know that what I did with the config YAML file didn't take. Git status. And it's just my temporary file that's in there. Oh, there we go. Success. Great success. This old one is still there. There might be some file location cleanup, but that's all. That's what I wanted to do. My simple test edit isn't there, but that'll show up soon. But this is the big news, right? There it is. That's it. That's what I wanted to do. That's what this live stream is about. And that is now mission accomplished again. So thanks for joining me. Hope to see you again soon. And you'll see all these sites come magically alive, become search optimized, and use all the latest easy peasy tools out there that spare you from WordPress, paying for hosting, and all the other nonsense that has gone away in this wonderful age of, well, it's really Uncle Microsoft competing with Uncle Google is what you got here, because Microsoft owns GitHub, and all this posting is on, all this hosting of your posting is on Microsoft. It's a wonderful gift. Y'all should all take it. Thanks for joining me. Hope to talk to you again soon. And